Hello and welcome to ETBFSI.com. My name is Amol Dethe. I'm unlocking the BFSI leaders in the special segment. When the nation is under lockdown and the companies are operating from home, the BFSI companies and specifically the companies operating in payment space, there is a surge in the volume. I'm going to discuss how has it been for the payment companies, specifically the digital payment companies. And I'm glad to share with you that I have with me Rishi Gupta, the MD and CEO of Fino Payment Bank. Mr. Gupta, welcome on the show.
Thank you, Amol.
And to begin with, Mr. Gupta, I have a very basic question. Each and every CEO, every employee, everybody is taking different lessons from the lockdown. So I just want you to tell us, how did it start for you, the lockdown period? What is the biggest learning you have till now? And more importantly, being an MD and CEO, how are you managing a company working from home?
Thank you, Amol. First of all, I hope everybody in ETBFSI is safe and working from home because this is a time when all of us have to give support so that all of us come out of this problem faster. Particularly on Fino, I would say that for me, my quarantine period started when my son came back on 17th of March, and I put in myself and family into self-quarantine. We started to plan for this kind of a event in the first week of March. So the teams, we put a BCP plan and a work from home plan for our employees. Initially, our belief was that maybe the building might get sealed if there is a corona case, but then the lockdown eventually changed everything. But for us, because of the planning which we did early, we got laptops, we got dongles, we got system software put into laptops. So people, the work from home has been quite productive. Generally, I can see the productivity level is far higher than in a working environment. We could also close our 31st March account closing, which is a big bank closing on time, well coordinated. So while the crisis is unprecedented, so is the support which we are getting from our team, which is unprecedented. Everybody is working hard to make sure that the company does well and we come out of this problem faster than everything else. From work from home, actually, one thing which we are doing is that I'm talking to my team and telling them we have to take care of 3H, which is your home, your health, and your humor. So that I think is very important for everybody that they can take care of their health and also keep themselves alive. Because at this scenario, when you are under financial, economic, mental, physical pressure, humor becomes a very important piece in everybody's life. So fortunately, because of the communication and thanks to the technology which we have on video conferencing and other technologies, the running of the bank has been fairly smooth. Even when we close our office on March 22nd, after that, the office is nearly closed for a month. But systems are running well. There has been no challenges. We are getting full support from all regulatory government entities and technology companies like NPCI. And I think all the banks are working hard to make sure that the customer doesn't suffer because the government has come out with a big stimulus and the money has to reach the poor. So everybody is working hard to make sure that the money reaches the needy. And whether it is our office or our people, our branches or our business respondent points, all of them are very productive and alive to make sure that at this point of time we are enough cash is there in branches, and so that if people come to withdraw the money, they are able to do so.
Sounds really interesting, Mr. Gupta. We have seen a lot of uptick into the digital payment companies. Digital volume is going up because people want to maintain their social distance and they're going for digital payments. So whether it's being UPI or normal UPI digital payments, or in the other segments like QR code and OTP are really on the world, really on the surge. So how has it been for you at Fino Payment Bank? What kind of growth have you seen specifically into the digital payments? If you could elaborate on that.
So I would say on totality over payments as such, which will include digital as well as physical, because we have a large network of physical branches. And I would say on technology side, on digital side, we are seeing a big surge on the AEPS, Aadhaar-enabled payment systems, and micro ATM, which is there. Especially on the UPI. Also, we are seeing there has been a growth because in urban areas, people have started to use this medium for making payments as such. So in the initial phase, when the lockdown started, for the first 1 week or 10 days, we saw there was a big drop in volume of business because everybody was in a state of, I would say, I will not say a state of shock, but kind to recalibrate themselves in terms of how are they going to work for the next 3 weeks in an environment. And we have seen that there has been many innovation and creative ideas which have come up during this phase. So a lot of digital payments surge has happened because people have started to make payments on digital medium like UPI or Google Pay or Paytm and other sources because the people who used to get cash earlier, like our maids, drivers, and everybody, is now we are transferring money on digitally to them. On the rural side, if I look at, we are seeing a big surge on the payment for government benefits. So the government benefits, a lot of people are lining up outside branches and business correspondent points for the money which the government released after March 27th when the announcement was made post that. So there is a growth on the rural side as far as transactions are concerned. Our business went down to a large extent, I would say, on the urban remittance side because of the migration which happened. On the rural side, we are seeing a growth. We have actually doubled our volumes from the first week to this week as far as payments are concerned in the rural side because of the government benefit which is coming out. So it's been a bit of a learning on urban, but what we have done is we have started a new novel project where we are starting to do a doorstep delivery. So we have developed an app as such. That app actually puts on a social media, it puts on WhatsApp. We have sent to a lot of our friends, connections, and on LinkedIn and other platforms where people who are stranded in their homes and they need some cash for them. So our merchant or our team can go and service them. So rather than 100 people going to a branch to draw cash, one person can come to their society or neighborhood and give them the money which can help them meet that need. Just on the first day when we put that app on the medium, we saw about 1,700 leads coming on just one day. In 2 days, we got some 3,500 leads which are there, and our people have started to go to those localities and societies to make sure that the people get cash. So digital and physical, as we have been all been saying, physical is where the country is right now positioned. So both of them are working in coordination with each other. And thanks to the technology and the systems which are running fine, we are able to marry both the physical and digital piece together. So digital has gone up, I would say, and will continue to grow because movement has started to happen where people have started who were getting money in cash have started saying, okay, you deposit the money in my bank account, and then they will withdraw from some other source. So I think some of it will become permanent in nature.
Right, obviously. So taking cue from that point, when we all are working from home under the lockdown, then again the question that comes to my mind is obviously we are taking a lot of cues. What is that specifically that you are planning to do at your company right now, and how's your plan? I mean, how are you going to implement that?
So first and foremost, I'm sure with every company and for us is that take care of our employees, and we have to make sure that all of the employees when they come to office
Right.
or even work from home, we keep them updated on information in terms of how to keep themselves safe and protection around sanitization and mask and everything else. So that is the most important thing for us. The second most important thing for us is that we try and ensure that the business comes up to a level where it becomes sustainable for the company and we can protect our employees and protect their jobs as well as their salary. So that is the second most important thing which is there. So a lot of focus is now actually going into three things which I keep on telling my team is that to keep your machinery oiled. so that you keep on working with them. So
Correct.
once the machinery and the distribution network becomes kind of slow down, then it becomes very difficult for it to come up again. So keep on oiling it. Secondly, this is unprecedented times, and this is a big opportunity from a business point of view. So a lot of creative ideas, lot of innovation, lot of digitization in processes, in terms of our thinking has to happen. And the third thing is communication. So we are focusing a lot on communication. I have a call with my senior management team every day in the evening for about an hour or so. Individually, we keep on having VCs and calls, and then it keeps on going down and down. I've put a small video also for my employees because we have 3,000, 4,000 employees. I can't reach all of them personally. So through a video, I have communicated the message of change and protection, and that we are serving the nation. Banks are part of essential services. So in a way, we are serving the nation, and our people are at the forefront of making sure that the people get cash and the money so that they can go and do their regular shopping. So from this piece, in terms of keep the teams oiled, innovate, and communication, the future for this is the present thing which we are doing during this lockdown period. But for us, as we look at post lockdown, and that is very important for any company, this nothing is permanent. This is also will go. So you will have to look at how do you come out after the post-COVID scenario. While there will be some restrictions for the next year or so, as the social distancing will continue for some time, but what we look at is the opportunity which this crisis will give us. So we are looking at faster, leaner, and stronger. So that is the three themes on which the thinking is going on the post-COVID scenario. That how can we become faster in all our processes, much ahead in terms of digitization on that. On leaner, how do we remove some of the verticals, merge them, collaborate with each other better, remove some of the channels, some of the levels which are there, and stronger in terms of how do we become financially and otherwise stronger to fight this crisis over a longer period of time. So faster, leaner, and stronger is the theme on which we are working as a company post the COVID scenario. And as I was saying, every crisis teaches you something, and this is a time when you can take decisions, when you can do things which in a normal scenario you would never able to do. So during this crisis, every person should focus in terms of improving their organization, improving their processes, improving their technologies. Because this time is not going to come again, and we should maximize the utilization of this time for the benefit which will come post COVID. As I said, nothing is permanent. This also will go. So the companies who take this this time as an opportunity and think and improve themselves will be the ones which will come out much stronger post COVID.
Sounds really good to me. And that comes to my last question. In fact, we do understand most of the banks, financial institutions are doing really a fantastic work in this lockdown time, and many CEOs and the employees have a great learning. So, and they're also looking at it as an opportunity. So I just want to take your perspective now quickly. How do you see the situation post lockdown? Uh, Working in the financial institution, what are the behavioral changes that you see will happen in your sector post lockdown?
I think digitization will become a very important part of the entire thing. So digitization, when I look at demonetization and try to compare this with that, demonetization actually looked at the B2C digitization part of the consumer digitization. We saw a lot of wallets and a lot of those companies coming up and growing, and people started to do. UPI has become more prevalent post that. But what I think is that this wave, which is happening through COVID-19, will digitize the companies per se or the banks. So the processes will become more digitized. We will see more non-face-to-face things coming up. People will travel less, meetings will be lesser. We will try to do as much as possible on digitization. You will see that post lockdown also, when the offices will open, the government will put conditions that not more than 50% of employees can come to office. You have to roster yourself. You will have to keep social distancing within the office. So that means that not everybody will be in office every day. So work from home will become part of our lives. It has become more organized. I was one of the biggest skeptics of work from home, but I'm probably the most biggest converter of work from home now. So from that point of view, the companies will have to work in terms of in an environment where work from home will become part of their entire way of doing business, which will mean that you will have to bring in a lot of digitization, lot of technology into your businesses. And what will happen is that you will have to start looking at traveling less and working more. So a lot of
Right.
time will get saved in people commuting to office, say somebody traveling 3 hours, 4 hours. I don't see that people who will be coming from traveling 2.5 hours of local in the morning and 2.5 hours of local in the evening. Companies will say, why do we need you to come to office at all? You come maybe once or twice a week. So a lot of those things will change. So face-to-face meetings and sitting together will become to some extent a thing of the past. What will happen in the future is the non-face-to-face will become a more regular or standard way of doing business. A new normal will emerge. Companies will have to cut down on their spends, capex spends, and other discretionary spends, and work with the new normal of 75-80% of their business for the next 6 months to 1 year, what was there pre-lockdown. So you will have to bring down your cost also to the same level, so that end of the day your profitability is within a range. So lot of changes, especially I would say on the BFSI and the service sector per se. Manufacturing will play a different role completely, but as for Fino, as for BFSI, I see this will bring a lot of change in terms of our way of doing business and looking at the opportunity.
Great, Mr. Gupta. Thank you so much for sharing those comprehensive insights. Those were really meaningful, and I'm sure my viewers and the readers will enjoy listening to your perspective specifically on the lockdown. Thank you so much for talking to ETBFSI. Thank you so much for sharing your views.
Thank you, Amol, and take care. Stay safe. Stay at home. Bye.
Thank you so much. Stay safe, my dear readers and the viewers. And please pardon us if you find some technical glitches in this video, because it's only because of we have shot this video while working from home under the limited infrastructure. But thank you so much for watching. Stay safe and stay connected to ETBFSI. Thank you so much.